Today I'm transforming a cherished glider rocker into this beautiful, reclaimed wood table, preserving the memories of countless heartfelt moments shared with my mom. My mother, who passed away in 2014 when she was 88, was a very avid gardener. She loved being outside, tending to her flowers and vegetables. When she moved into a condo into the early 90s after my father died, she only had a small patio area instead of a full yard to garden in, but she made the most of it and created a beautiful container garden that actually won a few awards for the best patio in the condo complex. One piece was always present on her patio, and that was this glider rocker. I had spent many visits sitting on this glider with my mom, catching up on life as well as the latest gossip around the complex, all the while enjoying her beautifully designed and colorful oasis. I'm sure this is where my love for container gardening blossomed. The glider survived the move to her second condo, which would bring her closer to where I lived, and she continued to enjoy her little paradise as she sat with her Yorkie Poo Miss Tea and contemplated her next potted creation. After my mom passed away, the glider was passed on to my sister Pat, who proudly placed it on her front porch. And several years later, after my sister passed away, I graciously kept the glider in honor of them both, even though it was starting to show signs of age, as it was very weather-worn with several years of cracked paint and brittle wood that I knew would splinter as soon as I sat down. As I was envisioning a front porch makeover, I wanted to keep the memory of all the special moments spent with my mom while sitting on this glider, having simple conversations and enjoying her garden. So as I deconstructed the glider, I imagined creating a table or two and maybe a planter box that will keep those memories alive and give me moments in time to stop and thank my mother for passing along her love for gardening. So the design of this table is fairly simple. I'm using the skills I learned when I created the flower planter boxes, using that design but a little bit smaller, and creating this 12 by 12 table. The slats that were on the bench, everything has been sanded down, which took the longest. And I'm just cutting the pieces up and screwing them on top. Here's our new puppy Oscar. I'm sure you'll see more of him. Now back to work. I did use the tool, I don't know what it's called, to countersink the screws so that you don't see them on top. And here I am creating the pieces for the legs, and again using the design that I had used for the flower planter boxes, just creating, it's not even considered a T. I don't know what this design would be called, but you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. So I have 4 of these, obviously one section for each leg, and I will go ahead and screw those onto the underside of the top of the table. As you can see, it gets a little bit tight in here, so I actually switched out to the smaller drill to screw in the screws, but I made it work. So I am staining with the same stain color that I used in the planter box. I don't remember the color exactly, but I do leave the other pieces on the legs, the natural color, and then I coat with 2 coats of polyurethane. And there it is, all finished. I'm really happy with how I was able to keep the memory of my mother and sister alive with this simple table build that will hopefully last for many years. This is Jeannie with Makers Unify. Thank you so much for watching, and have a DIY day.